Hello Comforts, it's Emiko back with another video. So today's video consists of why fursuits are so expensive. You've probably seen similar videos to this one, but I've found that it's mainly from non-makers, so this is the Makers Edition. This video has two videos that correlate within each other, so I recommend that you watch the other one after this video, and it's called Do You Have What It Takes to Be a Maker? As a warning, I am going to be brutally honest. My intention is not to offend, but if I offend you, then obviously you can't handle the truth. Now let's get on with what you came here to see. Let's jump to high school economics. Yay! For those who were not paying attention or have not taken this class yet, I'll give you a refresher course. So in economics, there's something called supply and demand. You've probably heard of this already. I'll show you a diagram. Now, if there's a high demand for an item and a limited supply, then the price will increase. But with a high supply and a low demand, there will be a decreased cost for the item. For example, a merchant wants to sell as much supply as they can if they have a higher supply than demand. To get rid of the overstock, he or she will have to lower the cost. It's the opposite for if they have a limited supply but a high demand. They'll increase the cost so that they can get their money out of what they have. We usually see this in clearance racks at Walmart and all that jazz. You're probably wondering, why do we need to know this for this video? Well, if you couldn't already tell, this is a factor in purchasing and selling fursuits. Surprise! Applying supply and demand to the furry fandom, this is how it correlates. As the furry fandom has increased, so has the number of makers. Now, I'm not saying all makers are a problem, but it is a problem for consumers who want a lower price tag, as well as a problem for makers selling these suits. So yeah, it is an actual problem. Let me explain why this is. With an increase of makers, you now have an increase of the same materials purchased. Making a fursuit is already expensive in itself. A partial for me already is around $700, and that's for material cost alone. Fur jumps from $25 to nearly $40 per yard. Now those materials have increased in price due to, you guessed it, supply and demand. Now there is a limited supply for these makers, and it becomes a race to gather supplies and looking for lower prices. Now, there's nothing wrong with some healthy competition, and I often welcome it, but it also needs to be a competition taken seriously, as I will explain in the Do You Have What It Takes to Be a Maker video. The obvious thing to say is to have fewer makers, but if we said that, then we would have little to no makers to choose from. So, what's the solution? I suggest you watch the corresponding video, Do You Have What It Takes to Be a Maker? As this video covers why fursuits are so expensive. I hope that after watching this video that you understand what is put into each fursuit, whether it be time or the prices of materials themselves. You shouldn't tell a maker that their fursuit prices are too expensive, because what that really means is that it's too expensive for you. And you should stop complaining and save up for that desired fursuit from that maker. You also shouldn't expect a high quality suit for a low price or expect all suits to be around the same price, because all fursuits are different and require different needs to make. Some may require plastic canvas, others may need resin, some might need a mold, and making molds are expensive and time consuming. And just because you are used to seeing amateur makers selling their suits for less than $200 doesn't mean you should expect that from every maker. Fursuit makers are not price checkers that you see at Walmart. They won't match the price you've seen on another suit and apply it to theirs. Makers and artists need to survive just as you do, so their price may just be enough for them to live. I know that for my suits, I'm only getting paid $5 an hour. $5 an hour. Bottom line is, there is a reason fursuits are expensive, and it's not for the heck of things. If you're a maker and want to know if you're a part of the solution or problem, check out the other video I mentioned like 2 other times. I know this video is short and to the point, but it really needs to be said by a maker. And there is a scientific reason behind everything. Most of the people on YouTube are non-makers that say, there's multiple factors. Yeah, there's multiple factors. Time, energy, depends on the artists themselves and the prices. But bottom line is, it's supply and demand. And there's an increase of makers. And because of the increase of makers, it's going to be harder to get supplies. It's going to be... just watch my other video. It goes into everything. But thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I do read the comments There's usually very little, but I like to see the comments, and I'm trying to make more videos more often so you guys can get more content. But as I said before, as like 4 other times, please go watch the other video if you have not already. And I'm gonna take this time for an announcement. A shout out to my showcase video, as by this point it's still for auction. It's a Dutch Angel Dragon in the dealer's den, link in the description. It's still for sale by the end of this month. Also check out my Discord server and join the Inari army. You don't have to be a patron to join, but patrons do get special access to certain channels and get benefits. Patrons have special access like features in my video, early access, and more. $20 patrons get detailed fursuit and drawing tutorials when I make them. Links are in the description. I'm trying to post videos more often, like I've said. My goal is every other week. Anyway, bye!